Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the live stream today. If you can see and hear me, give me a thumbs up. Hope you're doing well. Let me know where you're watching from, and we'll get started here in a second. So, Code Whisperer is here. Hello to you, and Nicholas is here too. Good morning, or good evening, or wherever it is, whatever it is where you are. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, as they say. And it's 3 o'clock right here in the UK. Very sunny day today. T-shirt on, shorts on. Very, very nice weather that we are having right now. Ray is in the house. Hello to you, Ray, and Kathleen from NYC. Kev is here. Nottingham, I think that is. Notts. Good stuff. Sheila from Toronto. Nice to have you here, Sheila. Spoke to Sheila yesterday. Cool. Nice to have you here. So today we are going to do some easy idea generation methods. If you were able to join us last week or you caught the replay, I did some idea generation methods, some easy ones for helping you come up with easy t-shirt ideas for your designs, for your projects, for your brands, whatever it is that you're working on. John is here from Ontario. Bo is here. Good to have you guys. So yeah, easy idea generation methods is what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at 3 more, in fact. So we have, oh yeah, if you're watching, do like, subscribe. That would be awesome. And by the way, before I even get into this today, if you want these methods, most of them are contained in this free ebook, which you can get at michaelessic.com/ways. Right up there, you can see the link there. So if you want to grab this and have it so you can keep it and refer back to it, you can grab a copy there. Christopher is here from Spain, and Teddy from Texas. Nice to have you here too. So yeah, like and subscribe. That would be awesome. Also, by the way, don't know whether you can tell, but I'm using a teleprompter for the first time today, or for the second time, doing one of these live. So I'm hopefully able to look straight into the camera a little bit more than previously when my eyesight was, or my eyes were directed away from the screen. So we'll see how this goes today. Maybe some hiccups along the way, but we'll see. Today's plan is to do 3 more easy idea generation methods. So last week we looked at 3 easy methods. This week I've got 3 more for you. So if you liked last week, you probably like this week. If you didn't like last week for whatever reason, you might not like this week. But that's what we're going to look at, a few more methods, and I'll talk you through. Got some examples, going to give you a how-to, step-by-step for each one. And like I said, if you want these resources in a ebook that you can refer back to, you can find them at michaelessic.com/ways, as you can see up in the top corner up there. Okay, Christopher from Spain is here. Teddy from Texas. Did I already say to you guys? Not sure. Tim and Franisha family from Texas. Lance is here too, and Wendy. Cool. All right. So yeah, 3 more easy idea generation methods. That's what we're going to look at. And this week, the doors are open on the Ideas Workshop. That's my idea generating master course where I teach you everything I know about ideas. I'll share a little bit more about that later. So if you're interested, hang around for that. And cordial greetings. Ella is here from Indiana. Thank you for joining us, Ella. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later as well. And of course, as usual, please do feel free to ask questions. If you do have a question off the top of your head that you'd like me to answer straight away before I even get started today, go for it. Ask away. Just, don't feel worried about interrupting me or whatever. I refer back to the comments and stuff regularly. So just feel free to ask questions as we go. Just Bella says, good morning from NC, North Carolina, I think that is. Tomatore, hi, just got the fruit of the course, sold a Mother's Day t-shirt. Cool. Awesome. So I think that means, Tomatore, you're in the Ideas Workshop. That's what you're referring to. So seeing some good results from your investment there, that's good to know. Okay. So yeah, if you're interested in that, we'll talk a little bit more about it later. But we do have 3 easy idea generation methods to look at first. And I just got the Wi-Fi warning on my computer. I'm going to let it fly for now. But if the connection becomes too unstable, I hope you will let me know in the comments. Code Whisperer says also in Texas. Cool. We've got the Texas crew here today. The Texas word beginning with T that means gang or team. Texas team. Team Texas in the house. Goa India is here too. Kanacha is here. Hello to you. And Nathan is watching from Kenya. Wow. We are worldwide today. Wonderful. Thank you for joining us, guys. And so what we're going to look at, a few easy idea generation methods. First, let me first do my little disclaimer, who this is for. So if you're an artist, you're a designer, you're an illustrator, you're trying to come up with original ideas and original designs and make money from that, then this is for you. So I'm a t-shirt designer. Primarily, I create designs for t-shirts. I've been selling them on Redbubble, Merch by Amazon, Etsy, all these kind of places for several years and been making my living from that. And if you are doing something like that, or you're trying to build your own brand and sell your artwork and build something up from that, then this is for you. This is who it's for. So I'm trying to help you come up with original ideas so that you are able to hop on trends that happen, maybe able to hop on the latest viral story, but also so that you can just apply your skills, your idea skills, to any topic or subject. So maybe you just feel like, oh, I want to do some designs around this topic. You'll be able to actually come up with original, meaty, weighty, witty ideas, jokes, puns, things like that, that will really connect with people, and people will want to buy them. They're more likely to buy them if you follow some of these methods. That's what I've found. And I've collected these methods over several years. So that's the thinking behind what we're doing today. So yeah, if you're an artist, designer, illustrator looking to produce designs for products to be printed on products, then this is for you. So let's just do a quick recap of what we did last week. Last week, we looked at 3 idea generation methods. I'll just share this with you, make this a bit bigger. So we did the X-Gang method, which is a way of looking at or finding ways of doing like funny designs around gangs and clubs and stuff like that. So the idea is you look at your subject and then you try to come up with a gang or a team or some kind of society or something around that topic, and then you create a badge type of design or something like that around that idea. So that's what we did. That was our first one from last week. And then our second one from last week, and by the way, if you want to see the replay, you can see this on YouTube from last week, or you can download the slides as well if you sign up at michaelessick.com/ways. You should be able to find them there as well. So yeah, that was the first one. Second one was the how-to framework. This is where you take a subject or a topic, and then you try to do some kind of instructional how-to. And often this can lead to funny ideas and lots of little jokes and mini jokes and layers of jokes. And it's a great, visual medium, can work well on a t-shirt, but also works very well for posters and things like that. So if you've got a subject, you want to try and run it through this framework, see if you can come up with ideas. That was our second method from last week. And then we had, I just shared some more examples of the how-to framework, kind of like the IKEA style, something like that. This is a how to assemble Stonehenge in IKEA style, that kind of deal. So that was one we covered last week. And then the last one we did last week was something called the simple text switcheroo, which is where you take a simple phrase or something, could even be something as simple as like, here, the death metal idea. But instead of rendering that as you would expect it to be rendered, so for example, death metal in this kind of style, you do it in the opposite kind of style. So you take death metal and then you add rainbows and unicorns and butterflies and this kind of thing. Or the, opposite kind of idea, you take something like Merry Christmas and you render that heavy metal style. So this is just a really simple method, but if you've got a phrase or a saying or something short like that, which has connotations, visual connotations, then by flipping that alone can be a simple idea. You don't need to add any text, you don't need to add any extra jokes. You can just render this in a different way and it could spark some funny ideas like the examples you can see on the screen. As a follow-up from that one, I hope Gary won't mind me sharing this, but Gary is one of our regular watchers, listeners. He's in the Ideas Workshop as well. Excellent illustrator and designer. And he just posted this update inside the Ideas Workshop. I just wanted to share this. He said, based off Michael's simple text switcheroo idea and his suggestion of doing collections, I've been working on a kawaii black metal collection, as you can see in the image here. He says he put some of these on Instagram and they got such a good reception. that he got hired by a well-known US pop punk band to do some for them. So he created this collection based off that idea. Someone saw it on Instagram. This band or someone representing the band reached out and said, "Hey, we'd like to commission you to do some design." So Gary actually got commissioned based off these ideas. So I thought that was cool. I hope Gary won't mind me sharing that, but I just thought that was a cool, kind of plug for some of these methods and where they can lead you to. It can lead you to funny ideas. They can also lead to, freelance jobs and stuff. So yeah, good example there from Gary, and I just wanted to share that and thank Gary for sharing it as well. Okay, who else have we got? Abdusalam is here from Morocco, and Amira is here. Good day to you, and Richie from Long Island. Good to have you here, guys. So today, 3 more easy idea generation methods. The first one we're going to look at, as you can see on your screen, support your local X. So this is a really simple one. This is an example of what I would call a plug-in phrase. That's a term I use for these simple phrases that you can adapt to almost any subject or topic, and all you need to do is try and figure out what would make sense here. What could I put in to this kind of empty space, this gap, this X, to make a funny idea. So support your local X is an example of that. So you can see some examples here. Support your local library, support your local artist. We've got support your local, what's that one? Farmers market or something like that. Support your local farmer, and then support your local girl gang. So obviously these are all using the exact same, or 80% of the exact same phrase. They're just changing the last word in the phrase, adapting it for their own particular purposes. So this is a good example of a plug-in phrase, and it's a very solid one because people recognize the phrase, they understand what it means. It has a certain connotation with things like local community things and vibes like that. So it works well for things like libraries, charity things, farmers, and organic markets and stuff like that. So people are familiar with it. They understand what it means. It has a kind of it's almost an idiom that people recognize. So support your local X. That's why it works. So here's how to use this and how I would recommend using this method. First, you want to slot something in there related to your subject. And I think one of the best ways or best pieces of advice I can give on this particular one is to think of it like this. So think of it like what you're trying to do is do support your local, and then you want to insert something like profession or group or a business related to your subject. So what's a profession related to your subject, or a group related to your subject, or a business related to your subject, and just insert that in there. So I think I saw an example here. So Sheila said podcaster, which is a great example. Support your local podcaster. If you're trying to do designs around podcasts and that kind of thing, then support your local podcaster is a great example. Or something like support your local podcast engineer or something like that. Really, simple example, but that works well. Just, simple brainstorming and away we go. So that's the best way to think about it, I think. Can you find a profession? Can you find a group? Can you find a business or something that would work in there? It doesn't have to be those things. And of course, you can brainstorm it and just see what comes from the top of your head. But that's kind of the guided approach that might help you. So as an example here, let's run through how this might work for something like Halloween. So if our subject was Halloween, then some of the ideas I came up with just off the top of my head, things like support your local pumpkin patch. That's something related to Halloween, pumpkins. And instead of just saying, support your local pumpkin, which doesn't really make any sense, we find something that does make a bit more sense. So something like a pumpkin patch, where you might go and harvest pumpkins. Support your local coven. So again, something related to Halloween, witches. What might be a group or a business or some kind of society that we could tag on to the end of support your local X? Well, a coven of witches might work. So support your local coven. And obviously, just as an aside here, obviously, what we're trying to do, or certainly usually from my perspective, we're trying to come up with funny ideas. So they're supposed to be ironic or sarcastic, or that's often where we're going to find ourselves leaning towards. So things like support your local coven, where there's a bit of a juxtaposition, because of course typically a coven would be regarded as something bad that you don't want to support, but you flip it and now it's kind of funny and ironic and sarcastic or whatever. So that's something to bear in mind and look out for. On a similar line, support your local serial killer. That could be a funny design as well, obviously for horror fans and things like that. Or support your local haunted house. Again, just spitballing ideas, but you can see how this works and how you might be able to apply this to whatever your subject is, or whatever your trend is, or whatever it is that you're trying to create designs around. Okay, I think I've missed a couple of questions and comments. So I'm going to go back here. Shri says, how to generate idea from popular cartoon. Not a good idea, Shri. Best to stay away from something like that, unless you're the creator of the cartoon, in which case email me and I'll help you come up with some great ideas for your popular IP. But no, you don't want to be doing stuff that you don't have the rights to, that's for sure. Anthony, do you still design in 4500 by 5400 pixels at 300 dpi? Yes, I do, Anthony, I do. Ninja said hi, hello to you. Brenda said boo, hello from North Carolina. Good. South Africa in the house. Good, nice to have you, Julie. Tim and Phoenicia, does your ideas workshop give color swatches or any color guidance of what specific companies use in your ideas workshop? No, it does not. The Ideas Workshop is a course around ideas and idea generation, the kind of stuff we're talking about today. We do talk, we obviously it rolls into design, and we talk about that in certain sessions, and some of the idea methods are very visual, so design comes into that, but it is not a course about design. It's not a course about research. It's specifically focused on how to come up with original ideas and unique, funny concepts, witty phrases, things like that. So no. However, it's funny you say that, because a few people, I can't remember how this came up. Earlier this week, we were talking about doing some color swatches for designs and like a cheat sheet of colors and things. So there are little things like that in the course which we're working on, but it's not a design-focused course. This is really just about ideas. Anthony, do you still design? I've answered that. If you plan to print on a blanket, beach towel, tapestry, etc. Oh, right. Okay. So can you change the resolution after the fact to print it on larger items? I've not, I've never designed specifically for blankets. I know like Redbubble and others and TeePublic, they offer tapestries and blankets. I would, if that's your focus and you're designing for that primarily, i.e., this is not a design that you create for a t-shirt that you can also whack on a blanket, but you're trying to sell blankets or tapestries, then I would recommend you just follow their guidelines and look for the exact canvas measurements. And it's going to be higher than 500 by 400. It's going to be a bigger canvas. Of course it is, because a t-shirt's this big and a tapestry or a blanket or whatever is going to be a lot bigger. So I would just design to the specs of, whether it's Redbubble or Printful or whoever you're going to be printing them with or trying to sell them with. You should use that as a guide. I do take my designs and enable them for blankets and tapestries and stuff on Redbubble, but that's not my focus. I think it's quite rare that someone would buy them on a tapestry, but at least they can do. But they're not designs that are made for that. So if you are designing for blankets, then follow the guidance that you're given from the site that you're using. Okay. All right, so let's crack on here. I think I've answered everything there. Oh, Tomatori's popping up with some help there, so thank you for that. So yeah, support your local haunted house, support your local pumpkin patch. Hopefully you're getting the idea of how this kind of thing works, and the support your local idea. So that is support your local X. That's one simple method, simple framework you can use to come up with ideas. Hope that was simple enough. And if you want to get hold of this, again, myclassic.com/ways in the top right. Is that the top right or the top left? Is where you can grab the ebook, where you can have these spelled out with a bit more detail, and you can follow them in your own time and stuff. So I'm kind of racing through them today, just to kind of get through them. But if you want to grab that ebook, you'll be able to peruse them with a bit more relaxed manner. Okay, so our next one here is called the opposite method. This is a fun one. Something I stumbled across with some of these designs that I saw. I think perhaps this one was kind of what sparked it for me. This sloth design where it says "Live slow, die whenever." So obviously the phrase that this is playing on is "Live slow, die." No, what is it? Live fast, die young. Right. So that's the kind of phrase that this is playing on. And I think I noticed this and thought, oh, that's a funny idea. What's going on there? I tried to reverse engineer, what makes these things funny. That's what I do now. So what's actually happening? Well, there's an inversion of the expected, phrase. The phrase is live fast. We've gone for live slow, and now we've got a sloth, and it fits together and makes this funny, funny design because of that. What's the word? Juxtaposition between what you're expecting. It's a pattern interrupt. You know the phrase to be live fast, die young. I've inverted it. You recognize the pattern, but you are getting something different from what you're expecting. And that's the crux of the humor, if you like. Similarly, on this one, you'll need Satan. So the phrase or the idiom would be you'll need Jesus. So it's been inverted. We've gone from Jesus to Satan. We flipped it on its head, and now we've got a funny design on that. And then similarly, this one, follow your nightmares instead of follow your dreams. So dreams versus nightmares. We've got this opposite. We've got this inversion of what you expect, and it can lead to these kind of funny ideas that you can see on screen. So how do you use this one? This is a bit more of a, step-by-step method, but first off, you want to find some words related to your topic, and what you want to look for are words that have an obvious antonym, an antonym meaning an opposite word. So hot, cold, fast, slow, young, old. You're looking for words like that have an obvious, in other words, something that people would recognize, a word that is obviously the opposite of that. So once you've done that, then you can head over to idioms.thefreedictionary.com. This is a free site that has lots of sayings and phrases and idioms. So we'll pull that up in a second and I'll show it to you. And what you're going to do there is search for your antonym. So search for the opposite word that you found, not the word that's related to your subject. Again, I'll walk you through this in a second, but search for the antonym and then see what comes up, and then swap out your words and see what sticks. So if we take an example here, just a really simple one, just to illustrate the point. So if our subject was like Valentine's Day, then a related word, a word related to Valentine's Day might be love, a very obvious one. And love is a good seed word for this because it has an obvious antonym, hate, love versus hate. So then we want to look for phrases, sayings, idioms that include the word hate. So a one that came to mind was like, haters gonna hate. That's a popular phrase and saying that people recognize, haters gonna hate. And then we just swap out love for hate and we get lovers gonna love. And that could be the seed of a, nice Valentine's card design or whatever it might be. So hopefully that makes sense. Start with the subject, find a related word, look for a word that's going to have an opposite. Once you've found that opposite, go and look for a phrase that includes that opposite, and then swap them out, and away you go. So one of the subjects I thought, a couple of tips here. So for these phrases, like idioms.the free dictionary is a very good one to use. I use that one all the time. It has, a lot of idioms and popular, well-known ones. One example I was looking at that I did in the ideas workshop was around dinosaurs. So, and particularly the idea of like, a related word to dinosaurs might be, for example, let's say we're doing a design around Diplodocus or something like that. So a dinosaur with a long neck or a long tail or something. So we're trying to do some Diplodocus ideas. And so our seed word might be long, and then we're going to look for words including short, because that's the opposite of long. So if we look here on the free dictionary, idioms.thefreedictionary.com, and then we can scroll down and see all these phrases here. So we got like thick as a short plank, a day late, $1 short, a shortcut, a short fuse, be caught short. And, you can just work your way through and just try and figure out, okay, which of these, if any, would work? Can I swap out short for long? And would it make sense in the short run? Okay, well, that one works anyway. Life is too short. and that kind of thing. And there's a couple of other places you can look for things here. So you can do like Google autocomplete. That's a good one. Just start typing in Google or Chrome and see what comes up. YouTube as well is a decent one. And genius.com, which is a website full of rap lyrics specifically. So you can put something like short up here and scroll down and see some lyric matches. So we got things like shorty and things like that. Could do some jokes around that, like longy instead of shorty or something. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So using these kind of different methods, you're looking for a word or a phrase or something that you can do and invert the word. But remember that you're looking for well-known idioms or phrases. So I was trying to think of the examples that we had for our Diplodocus ones, but like, life is short might be an example. So life is short, instead of short, we put life is long. And then we've got, a nice phrase that we can use with an illustration of a Diplodocus or a giraffe or anything with a long neck or something. So that's the idea. But remember that you are looking for well-known idioms or phrases. Otherwise, it doesn't really work. This is not something that works unless you've got a phrase that is going to be quite obvious. So that's just something to bear in mind. So, oh yeah, and thesaurus.com is a good place to look to give you some other seed words and ideas. Okay, that's the opposites method. Punstrus says Genius has all kinds of lyrics. Yeah, okay, not just rap lyrics, but all kinds of lyrics, which makes it so useful for coming up with ideas and stuff. Okay, we got one more here. This is the what is this one? Straight up rhyme technique. So some examples here on your screen. You can see we've got the Slime Time featuring Slimer from Ghostbusters. Obviously, this is not meant to be a inspiration as in do Ghostbuster based designs. What we're looking at here is the phrase, slime time, two words that rhyme put against each other. It's a nice catchy phrase, makes for a simple design like this. Too cool for school. So obviously cool rhyming with school, that nice rhyming feature makes for great designs. And fries before guys. Very simple, 3-word design. Perfect for t-shirts, for stickers, for books and stuff like that. Simple little puns like this, which are the bread and butter of a lot of what I do and a lot of what a lot of designers are making their money from. So straight up rhyme. Let's dive into this one. How do we do this? What's this one about? So you can probably see here that the concept or the principle here is people like rhymes. People love rhyming phrases and sayings. They are catchy. They tweet them out. They post them on Instagram. They like to wear them on T-shirts and they like to have them on products. So that's the principle here. So how does this one work? How can you use the straight up rhyme method? So first off, you want to list out some words related to your subject. You've probably seen this as a pattern that we use a lot. Find some related words to your subject. Once you've done that, isolate and look for specific words in there which have a few syllables, which are short, and which are likely to have some rhyming pairs or a word that rhymes with it. And once you've done that, you go to rhymezone.com, put your words in, hit enter, and have a look for some ideas. Simple as that. And simply rinse and repeat for all your different words, for all your seed words, and see what comes out the other end. So a couple of examples here. For Halloween, if we took the example or the seed word of scare, so scare is a word related to Halloween. Head over to Rhymezone, and what do we see? We can find, if we just do this live, we can have a quick look. Rhymezone.com. And if I put in scare, and pro tip, I like to go on the drop down here and choose Find Rhymes Advanced. Don't know whether you can see that, but find Rhymes Advanced. And what that's going to do is sort the list for you so that it shows you the words that rhyme best at the top and ranks them before the others. So scare rhymes with there, scare rhymes with where, care, air, share, hair, and a lot, a lot of other words. So a lot to go at here. And then once you've pulled up your results, you can see whether any of these would work directly. So, for example, can we do something with scare there or scare where to scare where, scare care. So sometimes you'll find things like the example of, like slime time, where it's you just putting two words next to each other that rhyme, they might work. Scare bear or scare chair. Scare beware. Beware the scare. And then you can see I'm already doing it in my head, but add some conjunctions. Can you make these work with some conjunctions? So, for example, things like scare and share, or scare with flair, or it's only fair to scare. So try to, create your own little short, catchy sayings just by adding in some conjunctions and some simple words that might work. So, what can we do here? Don't despair, here to scare, or dare to scare, something like that. Beware the scare, I scare with flair, and things like that. So you can see that's kind of the way it works, or the way I work it. Add some extras to pad it out. So I'm a scare bear, or let's scare and share, or I scare with flair, I'm scary and hairy. So you're just trying to go through and see, are there some obvious phrases like that you can do, some things. And once you've got that, of course, again, you can see here we're coming up with catchy phrases or sayings, and that can be the seed for a simple design, a simple idea. You could pair up, I scare with flair, with a nice illustration of a ghost or something. Maybe he's got, I don't know, nice. Maybe it's a girl ghost with a nice dress on, or maybe it's a guy ghost with a clean suit on, or something like that. But you get the idea. You can come up with some little phrases here, and then you can, from that phrase, it can blossom into a nice design that will work on a shirt, on a poster, on stickers, or whatever. And something that might, sometimes these designs as well, sometimes the ideas you get, you think, okay, it's funny and cool and cute. It might not really work on a t-shirt because people don't necessarily want to wear it on a t-shirt, but it's great for social media. Maybe I do a little cartoon, maybe I do a little drawing of it and just whack it up, or do a meme version of it or something like that. So, these methods work not just for coming up with t-shirt ideas, although that's kind of my focus, but they work for, your Instagram, they work for your Twitter. You can just tweet out some of these and they might work. So, yeah, those are, that's the, what is that? The straight up rhyme method. So a couple of questions here. Let me see. Hope that makes sense anyway. Question from Anthony. Can I make one original that is easily converted for towels or merch shirts? Is there an easy size converter, or do I need to make two different size originals? Yeah, I think there's a certain point at which there is not a good template that's going to work for t-shirts and towels, and get the best results for both of them. I think makes much more sense to do different designs for those purposes. I think Julie's agreeing with me there. Shri says, how to get perfect tags for related t-shirt designs. I think that tags and stuff like that really comes down to knowing your subject. So the idea here with these ideas and these idea generation methods is you have a subject, you have a topic that you want to create ideas around. And even before it gets to the design side, just with the subject, you would probably know what your tags are going to be. If you're doing some funny Halloween designs, some of those related words you come up with are going to be the kind of things you use. So you might be using Halloween, Halloween party, Halloween gift, pumpkin, jack-o'-lantern, whatever it might be. You already know kind of roughly some of the tags. And then once you've got your design, of course, all you're really going to do is fill in any gaps that might exist. So if you've got a funny design like, I scare with flair or something like that, then you might just throw some extra tags in there, like, fancy or smart or funny or pun or something like that, Halloween pun or something, just to kind of pad it out. So yeah, hope that helps you there. Punstress says wear and scare. Yeah, that would work. Tim and Phoenicia family, after you come up with an idea and go through the whole process, what would be a winner for something that sticks to you? Do you ask other people's opinions? I trusted family. Yeah, that's a great question. It is. I do. Yeah. The answer is yes. Family is a great place to start. Sometimes I'll just turn to my wife and show her the design I'm working on, and just see if she immediately reacts at all. Does she exhale a little bit from the nose, or does she, just look at me in disdain? Um, just simple reactions like that can be great. Obviously, a lot of us don't have little groups we can call on and say, hey, do you like this idea? And so we're just kind of putting stuff out there. And I think there's a lot to be said for simply producing stuff and putting it out there and not worrying too much about if it's going to be a winner or not. Because in this game, especially if you're trying to sell things organically through Etsy, through Redbubble, through Merch by Amazon and stuff, you are not you can't do that and simply create a small number of designs and just keep on adding one, once a month or something. That's not going to work. You have to create quite a lot. And so I've found that sometimes it's best just to get your head down, get the ideas out there and just use your own intuition, as in, this phrase works, this phrase doesn't, this phrase is better than that phrase, this phrase is catchier than that phrase, this would make a better design than this one, and just do it that way and just throw everything out there. So yes, there are methods to analyzing ideas. I teach that in the ideas workshop. We go into some detail on that. But in general, I think it's, especially if you're kind of in the earlier stages, it's a good approach just to put everything out there and just go for it. Obviously not every idea you have, hopefully not, but kind of do your own filtering. And now I am much more picky about the designs I work on. I don't create all my ideas and turn them all into designs. I do filter, and I do say that one really, whatever it is, sparks joy, or I really think that one's funny. I think that one really could work. I'm not always right about that, but I'm righter than I was, 4 or 5 years ago, because of the experiences I've had and kind of seen what works. So yeah, that was a long answer to that question, but I hope it helped. Nomadic Blue says, I really love drawing sugar skulls in my style. Should I add text to the illustration instead of just the drawing? Yes, I really think if you're this is all about what your objective is, but if your objective is to make sales from your work rather than just, I like drawing sugar skulls in my spare time for fun, like people do coloring books or whatever. If you're trying to make money, you're trying to sell your work and sell it on products or license it on products, then I do think that's a great example of where adding text can transform your sales. Because if you think about it, people drawing sugar skulls, of course, sugar skulls are a particular thing. People search for them and want to buy them. But the sugar, you're saying you draw them in your own style anyway. So I get that. There's already a differentiation in your style. But even so, if all you're doing is drawing something without any text, without any, message, without any joke or pun or hook, it's harder to sell those. Whereas if you can add on a joke or a hook, you don't even need to, you don't necessarily need to change the illustration in any way, but just having a joke, a hook, a pun, a witticism of some kind, then that can transform that idea, that illustration, from just a nice illustration that someone might like because they just like the aesthetics of it, to something that made them laugh, and then they're sharing it or they want to wear it, and it just kind of elevates everything up a notch. And I think for a lot of artists and designers, they're at that stage where they can do really nice illustrations, but they don't know, or they're not confident enough to put text on it or try and make a joke, and they're just kind of staying down here and playing it safe. Whereas if they could learn how to add funny phrases, learn how to add little catchy sayings, learn how to come up with their original sayings and ideas, they could transform those designs from simply something that looks nice to something that looks nice, is funny, sells regularly, builds a brand, gets people talking and laughing and all that kind of stuff. So hope that answers that question for you. Nomadic Blue. Okay, Armin says, hi from Leipzig. And Lisa says, does your course cover typography? No, the Ideas Workshop, I'll talk about it here in a second. It is not a design-focused course. So obviously, we do get into a little bit of design. Like, we've done sessions where I've taken ideas and turned them into designs and covered, my process and stuff like that. But it's not focused on design. It's a course about ideas, like what we've done here, coming up with original ideas and walking through different methods, and really giving you tools and resources so that you can come up with ideas really fast. It's not about, font choices, colors, all those kind of things. I have covered a lot of those subjects, however, previously on my YouTube channel, so you can go back and take a look there. Might do something in the future, more of a design-focused course. But yeah, the Ideas Workshop is not focused on design. It's focused on the ideas that are behind the design, so that anyone, with any style, with any subject, with any topic, with any niche, can come along and create original ideas for that topic, for that subject, for that niche, and for their own style, and create, come up with original concepts that they turn into design. So yeah. Armin says, would you recommend designing both front and back for the same t-shirt? No. In my experience, the kind of designs we're talking about here, and certainly my bread and butter, is a front design on a t-shirt. I know that certain demographics and brands do, big prints on the back and stuff like that. But if you're trying to sell, funny jokes and puns and things, it usually just works better on the front of the shirt, is my experience. Tim, Franisha, do you subtly watermark your designs or place your brand on your designs? We've had a number of our designs stolen and placed on products. Yeah, I don't, because like you say, people will steal things anyway. Copycats will steal stuff anyway. I can see where there might be a little bit of incentive to do that, but I just don't bother with it myself. I know some people do. It's kind of a personal preference thing, but I think you need to realize that whacking your logo on a design doesn't mean it's going to be protected from copycats. Could it work as a deterrent? Might do, but again, it's just like, it's not a big deal either way, I think is the short and long and short of it. Shri, for different POD, should I put different tags to get some organic search? If you mean the same designs on different platforms, the same designs on different platforms, should you use different tags? No, I just use the same tags on all of them. Bo, don't you have a blog post with good fonts for t-shirts? Yes, Bo, thank you. Seems like you're a plant there, but you're not, of course. I do have a blog post, or I have a resource. I have a PDF with it's like a resource on fonts for t-shirt design. So it includes some of my favorite fonts, links to them, all the good tools that you might want to use for fonts and stuff. And you can get that at michaelessic.com/fonts. Thank you for reminding me about that, Bo. Lance, more expensive to print double-sided. Yes, it is as well. Sheila, do you ever do brainstorming with clever word-loving friends? Or did you when you first started? No, I have one friend who is usually my kind of bounce off guy. If I have an idea, I just want to, but usually I'm sharing ideas more like, because I find it funny. And the same reason that you might share a meme or a funny tweet with someone, it's that same thing. It's not necessarily that we're trying to bounce ideas off. But having said that, I do think if you can find people to brainstorm together with, I think that's something that can really help. And you see this on like Reddit and Twitter a lot. Someone posts a joke or a pun, and then you've got this kind of pun train that happens underneath it. And that kind of idea is very powerful. So if you do have that, that can be great. It is actually something I'm thinking about, how we could include that in the Ideas Workshop. Maybe do little kind of brainstorming groups where we get smaller groups together of members, and they just, for half an hour or something, just literally brainstorm ideas. And, everyone would bring a subject or a topic, and then everyone would just go crazy trying to come up with as many puns and jokes and stuff as they could. So, it is something that we kind of do in the Ideas Workshop. We do lives like this every other week, where I critique and stuff. So we do a little bit of that, but I am thinking about whether it might be helpful to do something a bit more dedicated around that concept. Okay, so speaking of the Ideas Workshop, as we've got about 15 minutes left, let me just share a little bit about that. So let me make this bigger on my screen. So the Ideas Workshop is my dedicated ideas course. It's basically the fruit of several years of gathering ideas and frameworks and tools and resources and putting them together and teaching them. So if you think about kind of what we looked at today, we looked at 3 little methods And then last week we looked at 3 little methods. And those are basically like little bits of fruit from the big idea method tree. So if you like that, chances are you might like the ideas workshop, because instead of just giving you, here's a little bit that you can use, here's one little example, the ideas workshop is me teaching you how the tree works, all the branches of the tree, so you can actually create your own ideas and come up with better ideas, which leads to more sales. The better your ideas are, the more sales you're going to get. And the better resources you have, the more resources, the more you understand these different methods, that can lead to better ideas in the long run as well. So the types of ideas that we cover inside the ideas workshop, the types of ideas that you'll be able to generate once you've gone through the class: funny phrases, rhyming slogans, visual gags, puns, and there's multiple types of puns, parody designs, something I call low-hanging fruit. We talk about series and collections of designs that work well, trending sayings. So how do you hop on something that's trending to really make the most of it? Real world examples, aesthetics. So we talk a lot about visuals and iconic images and stuff, and even meme-based stuff as well. So all these different types of ideas are covered, and they are taught in detail inside the course. These are all the 13 methods that we currently have, individual methods that will walk you through processes to come up with ideas. So, what we've shared over the past few live streams, those examples, those are subsections, sub little tiny examples of these bigger methods. So, for example, we looked at support your local X. That is an example of a plug-in phrase. That's one plug-in phrase. And inside the Ideas Workshop, we've got over 300 different plug-in phrases. And I'll share a little bit more about that in a second. But these are all the different methods. So that's just to show you that, what we've been sharing is not even scratching the surface. It's not even the tip of the iceberg of all the different methods and ideas that we cover inside the Ideas Workshop. So these are all the different things. Every method also comes with worksheets and a class outline. So you can download that, you can save it, you can make notes, you can work through the step-by-step and really, immerse yourself, get baptized in all these ideas, so that when you come to your next subject or trend or topic, you have this arsenal of approaches that you can take, and you'll be able to apply them quickly and quickly come up with loads of ideas faster than the competition does. So those are the methods that are included. And then perhaps even the more important part, or the most helpful part of the Ideas Workshop, is the tools. So I have collected and created these 6 tools, really 5 core tools, and then one to kind of help you use the tools. One of the biggest ones, and the one that people are most excited about, is the plugin phrase directory. This is 300 plus plugin phrases. So like support your local X, that is an example of a plugin phrase. We have 300 more of those kind of things. Ask me about X. This is my X shirt. I'd rather be X times 300. And what you can do with the plugin phrase directory is put a word in and then look through the list and see if anything jumps out. So if your subject is bananas, you can put bananas in there, scroll down the list, and you're going to see 300 examples of ideas. This is my banana shirt. I'd rather be bananas, whatever it might be, and simply scroll through and come up with ideas really quickly. So that's consistently the tool that students and members of the Ideas Workshop say is their favorite and helps them come up with ideas really fast. It's also my favorite, and I've come up with many of my best-selling designs using that tool and that approach. But there's more tools as well. We've got Slogan Slot Machine that helps you come up with catchy slogans and rhyming slogans. The Mutant Word Masher helps you come up with really kind of quirky ideas that kind of push the envelope a bit. Visual Inspiration Board is a big database of graphics around different graphic styles you can use and different iconic images, so you can come up with really great parody ideas, parody designs, and also visual frameworks. So like the how-to framework, that kind of visual-based approach where it requires some graphic to make it work. Lots of prompts like that to really help you, brainstorm and come up with ideas quickly. And the low-hanging fruit cheat sheet. So that's a cheat sheet that can help you come up with really quick things for methods like the X gang, that kind of approach. It really makes coming up with those ideas really quick as well. So those are the tools. This just shows you what we've got in there. So the plugin phrase directory has over 330 phrases now. Because we're adding stuff all the time, or I'm adding stuff all the time. People are recommending stuff, and I'm also adding stuff myself. So it's a constantly growing resource. that's always being updated with the latest stuff, with the latest things I notice, to help you, really have a great big fat resource that you can always turn to and help you come up with new funny ideas and stuff. So yeah, there's 270 low-hanging fruit terms. There's 130 iconic images, 55 different graphic styles that work really well for t-shirts, layout frameworks. We've got 32 of those, 60 plus slogan templates. So yeah, loads of stuff in there and I think that's probably the most, obviously you need to understand the methods before you can apply them. But once you do, these tools are really invaluable in making you able to come up with a lot of ideas really fast. We're also doing bi-weekly live sessions. So like this, except you can bring your ideas, you can bring your designs. I will critique them. We review we review things together. We help one another, and we come up with brainstorming ideas. And occasionally, I'll dedicate a live session to teach on a specific subject or something like that. So we're doing bi-weekly live sessions as well, where you can get direct help from me on whatever it is that you're working on. And of course, there is the Ideas Workshop community. So not just the class, not just the tools, but the community. We have a dedicated private community, not a Facebook group, but somewhere you can come, post things, get my feedback, get feedback and help from others in the community. And of course, it's not just about ideas and designs. It's also about your business and helping one another with building their brands and scaling their businesses as well. So private community to boot. So the Ideas Workshop, the doors are open this week. We have a $50 off offer until Saturday midnight. So if you are interested, you can save yourself $50 if you jump into it before Saturday. So it's a 12-month membership. You can either subscribe and pay 12 months, and subscribe annually at $449, or you can simply pay $449 as a one-off payment and have access for 12 months. So you'll have access to everything. You'll have access to all the tools for 12 months, all the video classes, all the updates, the community and everything, and you can just be part of it for a full 12 months. So you can subscribe or not. It's up to you. If you do choose to subscribe, you're simply locking in your price and making sure that you'll be paying that price when it does renew in 12 months' time. And we also have, this isn't on the screen, but we also have a split pay option now. So you can pay two payments of $249, 2 monthly payments instead of the $449 if you want to split the cost over 2 months instead. So hope that all makes sense. That's really all I have to say about the Ideas Workshop. But if you want to find out more, michaelessick.com/ideas. michaelessick.com/ideas is where you can see all the details. There's a lot, obviously, that I haven't covered here. But if you want to go and check it out and read about all the different methods, see all the different tools and all the bonuses and stuff, then you can read them there on that page. And I will happily answer any questions you have now about the Ideas Workshop or anything else instead. So yeah, that's the Ideas Workshop, michaelessick.com/ideas if you are interested at all in joining us inside there. Okay, questions. Julie said, a brainstorming workshop would be great for those who already know how to design but would just like to spitball. Yeah, I do think it's definitely a go with that idea. I think the way we might work it inside the Ideas Workshop is to do, break people off into like small groups, because we have, I think, about 200 members currently. And it's just a bit unrealistic to get everyone in and to be able to give everyone the attention they need to make it worthwhile. So I think what we might do is do a kind of, breakout rooms into small groups, and those groups can brainstorm around, their own ideas, so that everyone has the opportunity to get their own brainstorming session going or whatever. Michael, is it a good idea to limit the colors, e.g. only black, or should we use all 10 possibilities in the case of MBA? No, I don't think you should use all 10 possibilities. I limit myself to 1, 2, maybe 3 colors on a shirt. I think I heard one of the Amazon guys say that 3 colors any more than 3 colors and you start confusing people, and you actually see conversion rates on designs start dropping off there because people get into analysis paralysis. They're trying to decide what color they want. Whereas if you just give them one color, they don't have to make a decision. You can't trip them up. So I would recommend keeping it to a limited number as possible. Typically, for me, that means 1, 2, or 3. Usually, like if it's a dark design, you'd want to do black and navy blue, and that would be fine. If you want to push it, you might do black, navy blue, and a dark heather or something. But yeah, I would keep it really tight, and you'll probably see it makes it easier for people to buy them. Eddie, the Ideas Workshop is great. I personally recommend it. Thank you, Eddie. Tim and Franisha, do you already sell or can you consider creating a PDF of recommended graphic design guidance books or even websites or blogs? We've been studying design books, but would love your recommendations. It's an interesting idea, Tim and Franisha, but I've never really got that much out of design books. I think what I might do, somewhere down the line, is do a more of a design focused mini course or something around that topic. But yeah, thanks for the idea. Julie says, thank you so much for your time. Gotta run, no problem. Nomadic Blue says, thank you for your response. Another quick question before you use marketing to get your art out there, is there a checklist you go to or just trial and error? Another quick, before you use marketing to get your art out, there's a checklist you go to or just trial and error. So I guess what you're asking, Nomadic, is there some kind of thing you would do on the art side, so on the design side, before you put it out there? I do have something. It's funny you should say checklist. I do have something called the what is this called? The T-shirt design checklist. You can see it on your screen, and this is not actually available right now. Maybe I need to make this available again. But this is just a little checklist I do. I use to help me run through the things that I like to have in a design. So just as an example, this has things like, is the message of your design clear and understandable? Does your design use less than 5 different colors, which is quite important for t-shirts usually? Are your fonts and the style of the graphic well suited to your audience? So things like that. So I tell you what, I'll tell you what, if you subscribe to my email list, what I'll do is I'll try and make this available soon again. I think we sold it as a special bonus a few months ago to the Little Book of T-shirt Ideas. So what I'll do is I'll maybe make that a bonus on the Little Book of T-shirt Ideas, and you can get hold of it there. But yeah, in general, to try and answer your question without referring to that, in general, I would just say yes. Well, there is a checklist. I've got it, but in general, you just want to put stuff out there and see what works, especially if you're only just getting started. Don't obsess about making everything perfect. That is the designers and the illustrators and the artists' curse, is that we're always obsessed with details and stuff like that. So yeah, just put stuff out there. But if you want a simple checklist, then I would just say, put yourself in the shoes of your potential customer and ask, are you creating something that they would want to buy? And that will then inform a lot of the decisions down the way. What colors you use, what kind of words you use to describe it, so that it might get seen and sold and stuff like that. So yeah, hope that helps you, Nomadic. Sheila just signed up for the Ideas Workshop. Excited. Cool. Awesome, Sheila. Happy to have you in there. Please do go and introduce yourself in the community when you get a moment. That would be cool. Just Bella, the workshop sounds interesting. Is this something that comes around regularly? It's not in my budget right now due to reasons, but maybe in the future. Yeah, great question, Bella. Currently, we've been opening it once a quarter. So I am keeping the doors open on this one, I think, for a few more weeks. There is this $50 off offer right now. That's going to go away on Saturday, but I think we're going to leave it open for another week or so after that. And then we'll close the doors for, the next month or so. And basically we do that because that means that every time we take in a new intake of students, I can kind of have some direct contacts. You can get a bit of attention just on you, rather than we just have a constant stream of new students coming in. So yeah, that's the reason we do it, and it will be available again in the future. What I can't promise is that it will be available at this price or, with these particular specifics, because it is getting more valuable over time. We're adding more content all the time. So the price is, kind of increasing in line with that. I don't think it's going to, climb up to like $2,000 or anything like that anytime soon, but it is kind of, the price is flexible to reflect kind of what's happening inside. Tim, thank you for all the great ideas, or Tim or Phoenicia, thank you for all the great ideas and responses, especially going into more detail about your ideas workshop. Please do consider those other courses or educational material for more guidance. Yes, I have a lot on my list to work on, Tim and Phoenicia, but yeah, thank you for that. Absolutely. Nomadic says, thank you. Kathleen says, the ideas workshop has been so valuable to me. I highly recommend it. Awesome. Thank you, Kathleen. So yeah, I think that was everyone's questions that I've covered. If you do have any last minute questions, we've done an hour, so I think we'll wrap it up there. We'll be doing another live stream next week, so make sure you're signed up at michaelessick.com on my email newsletter if you want to be notified when these live streams are happening or when we do design reviews or anything like that. michaelessick.com. And if you want to get the ebook that has a few more of these methods that we talked about today, michaelessick.com/ways. You can download it from there for free, completely for free. And of course, if you are interested in the Ideas Workshop, you have until Saturday to get $50 off the annual membership. So that's available till Saturday, and you can find out all the details at michaelessick.com/ideas. michaelessick.com/ideas. And we have the new split pay option as well, if $449 is a bit much for your monthly budget right now. Kathleen says, what does your t-shirt say? It says, it's a American eagle, American flag, and then it says, oh, can you see that? Comic Sans in papyrus style. I won't attempt to explain it. I just found it very funny. From a brand called Sports Brand, I think, or something like that. I think I saw it on Instagram or Twitter or something. I just thought this was really funny. So yeah, that's my t-shirt. Can you see it there? Comic Sans with the American flag. Okay, Bo, the workshop is worth the cost. You get so much. Thank you, Bo. Amira, thank you, Amira, for being here. Just Bella says lol, and Kathleen says nice. Thank you. Yes, compliments on the t-shirt. I'm going to have to start buying some more t-shirts just to wear in the live streams, just to spice things up a little bit. Okay, one thing you might also see in the background. Can you see that? This is a Jurassic Park screen printed poster by the artist Claire Hummel. And this is a limited edition one. And I think I really like Jurassic Park, but I just think this is one of the best illustrated posters I've ever seen. It's got the Velociraptor, the Montana Dig thing going on. It's just really cool. Anyway, really happy with that print. So that has pride of place in my office right now. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. You can't really see it. It's always there in the background, but I just wanted to point it out. Armin, as I see the US flag on your shirt, are there any copyright issues regarding the use of flags? No, not flags. A country's flag is free reign. It's not a logo or a brand or anything like that you need to worry about. Bella says, that's a great poster. It is indeed. And Kathleen likes it too. Cool. All right. Thank you, guys. I think I don't think I've missed any comments or questions, so I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for your comments and questions and stuff. If you want to, again, take advantage of that offer, michaelessick.com/ideas for the Ideas Workshop. You can read about all the bonuses, all the extras and stuff that are included that I wasn't able to cover in the live stream today. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Hope you got something out of it. And I will be sending out the replay tomorrow, as well as a few interesting bits and pieces in my usual Friday roundup email. So if you're not already subscribed, you can subscribe for free, michaelessick.com livestream.com/ways. You'll get the free ebook, and you'll go on my email newsletter, which is completely free and fun as well. All right. Thank you, guys. I will leave it there, and I'll talk to you soon. Umar missed it. Well, you can watch the replay, Umar, no problem. Just Bella says, thank you for the stream. Very informative and fun. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Just Bella, for joining me, and thank you for that kind comment. Kathleen says, thanks. Sheila says, thanks. Armin says, thanks a lot. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your Thursday. I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye-bye.